Hey, I'm Victor Lucas, and welcome to EPN's Rocket and Raygun Awards for 2017. We are going to have a blast talking about the best games of the year, and we are going to be hearing from the EPN team members, but as you can probably see, we're doing something a little bit different here, like we do pretty much every year with these awards. We're going to hear from team members individually, but we're also going to be hearing from some of the EPN supporters out there, some of our viewers that support our programming with sponsorship and in various other capacities, and we're also going to be hearing from some friends of EPN, and I'm excited to show you that video content as well. But let's get started with our first category, the best RPG of 2017.
I think the best RPG of 2017, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. And I know a lot of people might say, hey, Zelda's not an RPG, but this was an RPG. This is a role-playing game for sure. I mean, just if you look at all the different items you have, if you look at how you have to manage all those items and the weapons, this felt like a role-playing game, and it was my favorite. I would also throw in Divinity Original Sin 2 if you're looking for a more traditional role-playing game. But I role-played the hell out of Zelda, and I hope you did too. It was the best one this year.
Well, I'm not a big JRPG guy, but almost in spite of myself, I'm getting sucked into Persona 5. I got sucked into Persona 5 this year. I've never played a Persona game before. All my friends said, you gotta try Persona 5. I'm like, it's not gonna be for me. It's totally for me. I'm totally now absorbed in the world of these characters and their little dramas and everything. So surprisingly to me, Persona 5 is my RPG of the year.
There were a lot of good RPG games that came out this year, but my favorite RPG game, surprisingly enough, I'm going with Southpark, The Fractured But Whole. Why? Because the name. The name itself is ingenious, which gives it the nomination and the award for the best RPG this year. Actually, no, the game's just really awesome, and I love it. And anything that's got anything to do with Southpark and fart powers deserves Best RPG Award.
Thank you, gentlemen. Now, we also had some friends pipe in with their thoughts on the best RPG of 2017.
So my favorite RPG of the year is an easy one. Me and my wife played the hell out of it, and that is Persona 5 by Atlas, the long-awaited sequel to Persona 4. I want to say that the one thing I enjoyed about this game the most, the dungeons were really fleshed out. I like it how you can hide around corners, sneak out on enemies. The music is really good. The character designs are really fantastic. This is an overall fantastic RPG. Even the Game Awards gave it RPG of the Year.
Best RPG of the year has got to be Persona 5. It's a game that I'm a big Persona fan of, right? So I'm a big fan of the franchise. I'm all over this Persona business. I think it's the best Persona that's ever come around, and I was a huge fan of 3, a huge fan of 4. Now, to be upfront, I only put 25 hours into Persona 5, which I realized, oh man, well, that game, who's got time to go play 99 more hours of Persona 5? But it was amazing. The visuals, the storytelling, how they reinvented what Persona is in a lot of ways and made it modern and put this style on it. It's amazing.
I didn't play Persona, so I don't think I should even answer.
And we also reached out to members of the EPN sponsorship community, and we asked for their picks for the best RPG of the year.
For me, Divinity Original Sin 2 is awesome. True CRPG, Lorien Studios doing it again. Amazing open world, amazing story, amazing choices. And the co-op in it is awesome. So for me, that's the best RPG.
Best RPG, and that goes to Battle Chasers Night War from the now really formed THQ Nordic and Airship Syndicate. Battle Chasers is one of the rare Kickstarter success stories where they made a game and delivered on it without many hiccups. Airship deserves to be rewarded alone for how they handled their Kickstarter with lots of updates, great updates on the game post-launch, and even sending out code to people who upgraded to a physical copy like myself. The game itself is a throwback to the 16-bit era RPGs like you find on the Super Nintendo. It has a great art style with art done by Joe Madureira, who worked on with Vigil in the Darksider series. It's a little bit grindy at times and there's a lot of repetition, but the moment-to-moment combat and the overall aesthetic, it makes up for it with a ton of content, 40 hours plus to finish, plus side missions, all at a cost of only $29.99 Canadian. It's not in on Switch yet, but it should be coming. The issues with the Unity engine, like what happened with Ukulele. But when it does, it's going to be a great game for Switch owners.
So best RPG for me goes to Persona 5. And it's not just because of the gameplay. There's been a lot of great RPGs out there this year. But for me, this one just struck a chord with me. It really made me nostalgic for Tokyo. The visuals and sound were spot on. They were just absolutely beautiful. Really raised the bar with what I expect out of a JRPG. Actually, this is now what I expect out of a JRPG. So Persona 5 was just fantastic. And I played it right through with my significant other. We kind of had the controller back and forth. I just love seeing those characters and their interactions, and it's just kind of goofy and fun, and it's just it was a fun experience all the way through. So, best RPG, Persona 5.
Nier Automata, I really love that game for its style and the variety in gameplay. You have all kinds of shooter elements in there, you have a side-scrolling shooter. It's just a great game and it looks amazing. I love it.
Best RPG. To me, it's no contest. Persona 5 wins this, hands down. It has such a great style to it. I love the characters, but most importantly, I just love the music. Especially the battle theme will never leave my mind forever. You've never seen it coming.
My favorite RPG of 2017 was Shadow of War. The sequel to the critically acclaimed Shadow of Mordor, Shadow of War exceeded my expectations and gave me a bloody good time. It has fantastic combat. The gameplay difficulty is on point, always challenging you, but never really beating you unless you feel like taking the other difficulties. The Siege Assault mode in the game is super fun. It's super awesome to see so many orcs fighting each other at once. And also the whole microtransaction issue, I never found an issue with it. I never once thought of buying a box during the entirety of playing the game, and I never bought one with physical money afterwards. I've never put any more money into this game than buying it in the Season's Pass. So that is why my choice for the best RPG of 2017 is Shadow of War.
One of our EPN sponsors, Clayton Blair, didn't want to make a video, but he sent in some great picks for his choice for best RPG of 2017. He picked Horizon Zero Dawn because there are robot dinosaurs. Thank you, everybody. Some fantastic choices there. Now, I love Nier Automata, and I loved Persona 5. I didn't play that game forever and ever, and it's one of those games that really just takes over your life, and Zelda kind of took over my life, but I really dug both of those games. But the game that I'm going to give it to is actually Divinity Original Sin 2. That's my vote. I think that game is beautiful. Larian just put together something absolutely stellar in there, and Warco A was absolutely bang on with that. It's a great game filled with fantastic characters and story. But in our accumulation of all of these votes from various people here, it looks like Persona 5 is our winner for the best RPG of 2017. So congratulations, Persona 5. You're our Rocket and Raygun Award winner for best RPG in 2017. We have lots of other categories headed your way, as well as lots of other content for you to check out. If you dig our stuff, don't forget to hit subscribe, that little bell, and if you're so inclined, that sponsorship button too.